Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson with news from around the Columbia Basin for Tuesday, January 15th. Tonight we report on a Moses Lake man who was stabbed while confronting a woman's attacker, and how the Moses Lake School District is asking for ideas on overcrowding. We also look at the return of mineral water to Soap Lake businesses and how one government agency is dealing with an increasing number of wolves. In sports, we check on the Ephrata High School Tigers basketball teams. And our spotlight story tonight is going to the Dogs as we look at an unusual training program and the needs of our local animal shelter. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story, a Moses Lake man was stabbed after he tried to confront another man who was reportedly assaulting a 65-year-old woman. Police responded to a disturbance last night in the 1000 block of West Marina Drive. Officers were told a man was causing problems for a number of residents in the area. The suspect was also accused of assaulting a 65-year-old woman. A 26-year-old Moses Lake man tried to confront the suspect and was stabbed with a steak knife. Moses Lake Police Captain Dave Ruffin said he was taken to Samaritan Hospital and treated, but the wound was not serious. Police arrested Robert Steele, a 57-year-old Moses Lake man, for assault in the first degree. The case is under investigation, and police ask anyone with information about the crime to call them at 509-764-3887 or 509-762-1160. The Moses Lake School District is looking for ideas on how to use current schools to meet the needs of its students. A series of community meetings are being held to identify possible solutions. The next meeting is scheduled for 6:30 on Thursday at Moses Lake High School. There will be a final meeting March 21st at the Moses Lake Civic Center. All information from the meetings, including presentations, input, current enrollment, projected enrollment, and space capacity, is available on the district website at moseslakeschools.org/crowding. The information will be used to form a school board recommendation for implementation during the 2014-15 school year. The Inn at Soap Lake and Notaris Lodge have Soap Lake mineral water once again after several months without it. In early September, the city shut off the system that transports the water from the lake to several local businesses and homes after an underground pipe burst. The business owners said the lack of lake water led to thousands of dollars in lost revenue as tourists stopped coming. Over the past several months, the city assessed the situation and made repairs to return mineral water to the 2 Main Street hotels and the Healing Water Spa. But a small number of residential customers who had been paying to receive mineral water to their homes will no longer have access to the system. Soap Lake Mayor Raymond Gravel praised city crews for their efforts to repair the system despite numerous regulatory requirements and limited city funding. Charges were filed against 3 men accused of abducting and beating a 41-year-old Moses Lake man on January 9th. 23-year-old James Boyd and 18-year-old Brett Meyer were charged with kidnapping and assault. Boyd is also charged with attempted murder in the first degree. An unnamed 16-year-old boy was charged with them. The 3 suspects were located after a manhunt that lasted several hours and led to the lockdown of several Moses Lake schools and businesses. The victim of this week's incident reportedly told Grant County Sheriff's investigators he was held at gunpoint and beaten by the 3 suspects at an unspecified location before being loaded into a car and driven to the sand dunes south of Moses Lake. The victim reportedly escaped, sought help at a nearby home, and was later taken by ambulance to Samaritan Hospital, where he was treated for broken bones and other injuries. On to a more positive note, tickets are available for the Columbia Basin Cancer Foundation's 4th annual Country Sweethearts Benefit Dinner, Dance, and Auction coming up February 16th. The event starts at 5:30 p.m. in the Grant County Fairgrounds 4-H building. Tables of 8 can be purchased for $450, and individual seats are available for $60. Proceeds support the Columbia Basin Cancer Foundation, allowing the nonprofit organization to provide services, education, and programs to help cancer patients and their families. Attire for the benefit is Western or jean casual. More information and tickets are available by calling 509-764-4644 or sending a message to info@ColumbiaBasinCancerFoundation.org. The foundation can also be found on Facebook at facebook.com/CBC Foundation. Each of the people you see here have warrants for their arrest and are wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these individuals, the DOC asks that you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day, or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We'll be right back after these messages with the latest from our iFIBER 1 Weather Center, sports, and more news.